I was hoping they'd come in.
Oh!
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Gang. We got the Season 5 Reloaded tier list today. Raven is dropping some changes as we record, but this is the only sliver of time I have to record, so we'll address some of those changes, but things might change slightly depending on how those changes play out. Groundlet-wise, they affect the AK, Farah, Stoner, and AUG. If you enjoyed the video, please like and consider subscribing. Let's dive right into it. Alright, so we start first with the AK-47. It's getting like a possibly visual recoil adjustment. Good or bad, we don't know. If it's bad, it's still probably usable in the sniper support range. If it's better, that's even better. But I think for now, it's still S tier for me. I really like the AK, so hopefully they don't do too much to that visual recoil. Hopefully they improve it. Next, we've got the AM63. That's here in C tier. It's just that 15 round clip. Like, it's got a pretty solid TTK, but it's just 15 rounds. You gotta be super accurate, and you're probably just gonna get the down. So it's very limited by that. The AUG, so the AUG is getting a fire rate change. However, the changes don't affect this AUG because it doesn't have the titanium barrel. They are supposedly making the recoil a little better, so that might help. You'll get the job done. I think they're still working on trying to balance the bursts and semi-autos, so it's here. We'll see how it plays out, but it's B for now. They're definitely nerfing the Stoner. It's going to be less accurate, it's going to be slower handling, so we'll have to see. I still think I hope they don't crush it. I'm thinking hopefully it's like slightly worse, but we'll see. Definitely one to watch. ZRG is here. I still really like the ZRG as a ground loot. You know, it hits its shots 150, 200 meters out. It is suppressed. Yes, it's got only 3 bullets in the mag, but it's okay if you're accurate with your shot. PPSH is a really good spot right now. This has 50 rounds. I'm using it as a sniper support right now, so I think this is definitely in the running for top dog. This C58, if the Stoner gets heavily nerfed, right now the Stoner is able to B mount 100, 120 meters. It's really good. If these become like the same range, because C58's been nerfed pretty hard recoil wise, this could go ahead of that, just because better handling and if the range is the same. But right now the Stoner's better at range, so that's why I have it above the C58. This C58 is going into A. Yeah, it's still, C58 is really solid and it's scoped, so it definitely gives you a variety of engagement options. This C58 is really good still too. I think it's probably top of B, maybe even for some a little higher, but that's kind of where I got it. Sigma B forever. This Court Jester, so the XM4 got a buff. Recoil is supposed to be better, so it's going to come down to preference. I think PPSH or XM4 obviously is going to have better mobility as a SMG, but some of you might really like the XM4. You might have it above that. I think I have the PPSH over it for now, but time will tell. DS, DMR, so this is one of the, like, DMR or AUG right now. The DMRs that are on the ground have a 4X. So it's not this SMG version, it's like a longer range version. I'm gonna put the AUG over the DMR. I'm guessing these changes are hopefully good, and it's just a bit more usable than using a 4X up close. This EM2, I really like the common uncommon EM2s. They're faster handling than the 50 round variants, and 20 is a good amount with this for this gun. Early on, that's more than enough to get it down and a thirst, and it's scope, so it's like the only uncommon common that has a scope. So it's A tier, for low A tier, but it is a lot of my early kills have been with an EM2. So this EM2, you gotta treat it more like an LMG. It's just super slow handling. You do get better movement, but that ADS is just ridiculously slow. So for me, it's if you really want to be suppressed and can handle that long ADS, it could be higher. It could be like a low A. I think for me, I'm favoring some of these faster SMG options or close range options over it. So right now I got it B. This one's awesome. The rare one is gonna be, I'm still taking it above the burst and the semi-auto options. This one is the best EM2 in my opinion. Basically, it's just got a barrel, long-range barrel, and it's still got that handling. So the type, you know, there's a lot of hype around the type. I think with these 2x versions, there's a good amount of visual recoil, so it's not as effective as say one with like a reflex scope or just no scope at all. For close range, I think it does affect your accuracy up close. I'm putting it in B, though I know if you can handle that scope up close, you can achieve those strong TTKs. This is the bottom S. Yeah, Farah, obviously they're making it more skill based, but I mean it's still upper torso shots that you gotta hit. So I'm pretty sure most solid players have been still shooting upper torso shots, but effectiveness will be lowered a little bit, but it's still a really accurate gun. C58's, I think, a bit more mag capacity, more damage per mag, so that's why I got it above the Farah. So same, just mirroring that. The Hauer, you know, just always see in the right situation you can get it done. They did add a 9-round mag to the legendary, so I think I'm taking it over the amp. You just have more ammo in case someone kind of tries to third party you or support a teammate, and in an amp you're dead. You don't have a chance there. This MG82, I like the MG82 especially early on because of that high mag capacity, 100 rounds right off the bat. That's really good. I think as the game goes on, I'm less likely to hold on to it. It's definitely not a beamer in any way. Under 50 meters is where it's at. So yeah, that's where I got it. I think situationally you might take a C58 or even Farah above it as the game progresses, but right at the jump when no one has a loadout, this thing does work. M60 is still terrible. It still has that thermal, and it's just terrible. This M82, you know, I have stated many times M82, they've just done too much to it, and I'm not a fan compared to other sniper rifles, and I used to be the biggest M82 fan. So I've got it in B. I got it under the EM2s. You know, if you get the first headshot, you hit your first shot, it's great. Like, that's why it's in the one shot down category. You miss, it's just the follow-up shots are just too inaccurate. It's still got the recentering issue as far as I can tell. So I know people have been, even like True Game Dad was like kind of talking it up, but the feel of it, it's not good to me. Magnums, don't bother, you know it, no changes. This MG82 is a really good right off the bat option, and as a common uncommon, it's readily available everywhere. Like, and some of you might prefer these to this because this is scope. I think the scope is beneficial, but honestly, like in some situations it might be better to be iron sighted. But yeah, really good. The C58 is quite solid. It's got 50 rounds, and again, if the Stoner is equivalent in range after the nerfs to the C58, I would take the C58 over the Stoner. But for now, we're gonna leave it like that. This nail gun is, you know, all right. It's okay. It'll get the job done. The Neurologist, so the Neurologist is actually worse than the Epic because it does have a GRU mag clamp, which is like a fast mag, but it does affect your ADS time. So I prefer the Epic because faster reload, it's not a huge deal. This say always there. Papa shot PPSH is 32 rounds, so it's again a preference thing. I think I'm taking the C58 because of the better damage per mag. So I think this just gives you a little more option and ability to challenge more than one or two opponents. So this PPSH is a one person, one enemy weapon, but still really good. This PPSH, same thing, it's gonna be below the C58 due to that damage per mag advantage. RPG there. This Farah is There's very little difference between these two. It's a serpent wrap. So yeah, definitely the ADS is gonna be faster, or some type of wrap. I don't know if it's a serpent wrap. I put that on the spreadsheet, but that was my best guess. And I think it's to help the ADS. So I think it should feel faster ADS wise. All right, so the Swiss here. Now on Reddit, someone said that the reticle on the ground loot is misaligned, kind of like the Roman standard was. I haven't had the time to test that. If it's true, obviously this is something you have to kind of figure out if you can make it work or avoid it entirely. But if it's not bugged, it's the best ground loot sniper in my opinion. The hangman's not great, but I think just the mobility of it, I would take it over the ZRG. This stoner, same, very slight difference. I think it's a stock difference, so not a huge difference. The Swiss, also just a grip difference, so again, not a huge difference. This Swiss, I've got it, yeah, right below the MGs. This could be, yeah, if this is not bugged, this is a really, because this is going to drop a lot. The rare snipers drop a good amount of time. So that would be a fun one to use. We'll see. I'll try to test it if I get a chance, if it drops for me. Obviously, they removed plunders, so it's made it hard to test or find ground loot in general. Yeah, so this Tech 9, you know, a lot of people are like, don't use it, don't use it. It is hard. It's just, it should be a pocket foul, like theoretically, but you know, I don't know. We'll see. I'll give him a little more run. I think this environment's a bit more conducive. I mean, like there's a Type 63 DMR SMG resurgence, so I think this it just might be a better time to see. Beginning of the season with the OTS everywhere, it was just, you know, you would get wrecked trying to use this. So I'm gonna give it another run and see how it does. This Tech 9, I got a bottom A. It is suppressed. There are changes to the Tech 9 as well. I think it's just a little, you have to be more accurate. So we'll see how that kind of impacts the Tech 9. It's going to be harder to use, obviously. These Tech 9s, I think, are top of B. I think 650H just got a bit more range, more options engagement wise. This AMP 63 is the same basically. I wish they had put a larger mag on it, but they didn't. This AUG has a 54 round, so I think the Epic is the way to go, because that 54 is gonna really hurt your ADS and make it super slow. So that's why it's below that. This type is good stuff. Type 63 obviously been hyped, and so this is kind of making up for the fact that there's only like 2 SMGs plus the nail gun, but the nail gun's gonna drop like never. So this is your close range option. It's probably the best common uncommon close range option, because you got great damage per mag, because it's got a 20-25 round mag. So I do like it over the Tech 9. Now if you want to be suppressed, you'd go with these over this, but this has just more capability to handle 1, 2, 3 opponents. This is a 1 opponent gun. This type again has a 2x, so that's why I've got it in B. I think the 2x just introduces a lot more. I'm gonna take suppressed type over this right now, but we'll see how effective this is. This M60, yeah, just more bullets to suck with. And this DMR got a bigger mag, so again a slower ADS, so I would take the Epic over the legendary version. This XM4 is going to be really good. Again, a preference. PPSH, XM4, what do you prefer? Or even Farah, although the Farah is a 4x scope. This XM4, I have it here. Yes, it's the same, it mirrors that. CRG, right behind the other one. And this CRG, which I've had a good time with, the rare ZRG is there. All right, well, that's it, boys and girls. Hope you enjoyed it. Hoping to get some more content, but it's, yeah, these next couple weeks gonna be really busy, so it may not happen. I'm not gonna lie to you all. So I hope you enjoy this tier list. I hope you enjoy this attachment video. This is it for this. I don't think it's gonna be the only videos for this season, but I'm probably just pop in randomly. It's not gonna be any random amount. But once I've moved, once I'm settled, everything, hopefully I can get back into a rhythm. We'll see. If you enjoyed it, please like, consider subscribing, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.